Hello everyone. As you can see, I am on a fresh installation of Ubuntu, my favorite GNU/Linux distribution. I know that might come as a shock to a lot of people because I always preach customize as much as you can your Linux installation. And I have been using Arch and Gentoo somewhat. But I always come back to good old Ubuntu because it's just simply stable. And for the work that I do, stability is quite an important thing. But this is not about the distro. This is not about stability. What I'm here today to show you is how I take this fresh installation of Ubuntu and go to my mouseless mode. So as you can see, I have a mouse. I'm moving it right here on the side of the screen. However, uh, I prefer not to use it, right? So and if you're, for example, somebody who is watching this video and you have a desktop and you don't have a mouse for some reason, everything that I'll do today will be without the use of mouse. So I will be going over how basically I use my config files to bring this freshly installed Ubuntu desktop to my likings. And obviously, I will be using my own config, and you should probably create your own config for all the technologies that you use. But you can always just grab also mine or fix yours later. But yeah, so the idea is that I'll get to show you how you can bring this fresh installation of Ubuntu to a mouseless mode so that you can do anything that you want without the use of mouse. I mean, technically speaking, you don't have to do anything. You should be able to do everything right now immediately from within here, but you just make it a little bit better. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, I'd like to preface this by saying that I did install right before starting to record this. I did install two things. I installed FFmpeg and I installed Screen Key, which both are just going to help me show you what I'm doing on the keyboard and yeah, and record obviously. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Alt T to start a new terminal. Then I'm going to create a new directory called data, and inside of the data, I'm going to create another directory called Git. Yeah, I just like having things in that kind of. I guess it's from work, but I like having this pattern when I have. So inside of the data folder, I usually have like all my all my data that I get to work with. So first thing that we're gonna install is we're gonna install. Actually, I didn't consider what will happen to my password. Well, but let's see. Okay, so sudo apt install. We're gonna install Git as the first thing that we're gonna install, and yeah, it will actually. I guess you get to see my password now, which is not very not very good. I'll have to find a way to get that out. But uh, let's uh, let's see. So let's install Git. So what I'm gonna do after installing Git is I'm gonna git clone my settings. And although this file is named, as you will see, it's named Vim settings, it actually now has transpose and it contains all my settings for all my important stuff. So I'm gonna git clone this directory and then I'm gonna move into this directory. And as you can see, in this directory, I have quite a lot of things. I have my i3 config, I have my NeoVim config, I have the record script that I'm using to, well, record this currently. Then I have my Vim settings, then I have this install.txt and this readme file that I never update, and the tmx conf. So immediately what I do when I come here is I cut the Vim settings into vimrc, even though I don't even have Vim installed yet. So obviously I need to put the greater than sign, and now basically that will take my vimrc settings my vimrc. Then I'm going to do the same thing for tmaxconf. So I'm going to go to the home directory and I'm going to put it to tmax dot slash or sorry dot tmax.conf, and that's going to be my tmax configuration. And if you're wondering what that looks like, these are my vim settings, and yeah, I guess this window is a little bit small, so let's just make it a little bit bigger. So let's clear the screen and let's see my vim settings again. So it's not something extremely complicated. It's just a couple of settings that I use that are good for me. And yeah, let's look also at the tmax conf file. Nothing too impressive, so I'm just setting the mode keys to VI, and then I'm just binding a couple of keys to make my life easier when I want to copy stuff. But yeah, so now that I have that, so continuing on with what I have here, I have this installed at uh, installed.txt. So if we look at the install.txt, I have a couple of things that basically I have basically here all my packages that I usually install whenever I'm trying to do something on a new computer. So I have C, um, the C for C programming, for assembly programming for Arduino. Then I have my general like kernel programming setup, which I was just too lazy to separate. So it has all the dependencies that I need to compile the Linux kernel, and then it has all the um, other dependencies. And as I can see here, I actually have Vim duplicated. But anyways, like those are like that's the most important packages that I have. And as you can see, I have a command there, like it's on the uh, fifth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, eighth line. There is this apt dash mark show manual, and then that will basically show you all the apt package manager uh, installations that you have done, and then you can from that basically grab all the packages that you have manually installed, and that's how I was able to get all the general setup stuff that you see there on the bottom. So once again, without a mouse, I need to install those things. So what I will do is I will go sudo apt install, and then here I'm gonna have to use, because I'm not using the mouse to simply go and copy paste those things. I could technically install first Tmax and show you how via Tmax to how we go and copy stuff, but let's do it a little bit of a more interesting way. So uh, actually, I'll show you what I'm doing before I do it. So if I use the grep command and I specify that I'm looking, for example, for setup, you will see that, and then I give it the file name, which is install.txt. You will see that it grabs the last line as that is the only line that has the keyword setup. And yeah, if I wanted to, for example, um, let's not complicate it. So now that I have this line, what I can do is I can basically pipe this into a cat command, and I'm going to set the delimiter to be the single colon, and then I'm going to say minus F2, so that will give us the second part of whatever there was there in the buffer. So if basically this gives us the entire line, this will basically cut it to the colon and give us what's on the second section, so from the colon. And that's how I will separate it. So why is that useful? Because now I can do sudo apt install, and now I can do basically what I had there on the top, and I'll use this double quotate or double exclamation mark, which basically expands what was my last command run into this spot, and I will just run this, and the great installation of everything that I need to install will start happening. And that might take some time depending on how fast your internet connection is. And well, yeah, mostly based on that. And well, if you have any of these things already pre-installed, that will also help a lot. But there's not that. At the end of the day, there's not that many things that we're installing, and they're all quite light packages. So once they have been installed, they're currently at 76, 77. Come on, let's go. I'm not going to cut anything from this video because the idea is that you get to see how slow or how quick it is. And yeah, so now we've downloaded everything and now we're installing them. And if you actually don't want to, I guess, install all the nonsense that I'm installing to be able to compile the Linux kernel, then you can just basically see all the commands that I'm going to be using throughout this video. And every time that you're facing a situation that the command line is screaming that you don't have something installed, then you can install it at that time. And that should be just fine. Except, well, everything like the next thing that I'm gonna do with installing NeoVim that you might have to do. So I'm now gonna go. So now those are installed, right? So I'm gonna go clear again. I can actually you can press clear or you can press Control R or Control L. Like it doesn't really matter. I just don't know why, but sometimes I do one, sometimes I do the other. So now I'm gonna go. As you can see, one of the things that I installed, as you cannot see probably, like one of the things that I installed was i3, and i3 is a Windows window manager. And yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this i3 configuration into the correct spot. So I'm going to do cp minus r, copy recursively my i3 folder into my home directory config. And once that is done, then I'm going to vim the config file in there. So if I go vim dot start config i3 and config, one thing that I have to do, and actually I'm going to make the screen small for this because otherwise it's going to be on the very bottom, so you will not be able to see it. So if I go capital ZG to go to the very end of the file, I have this one line commented out, which I will bring back in. This is basically where my wallpaper is, and I know that my wallpaper is within my own config i3 and wallpaper that actually it's not PNG anymore, it's JPEG, so I should probably change that too. But basically, this is just a wallpaper that I want to use in my i3 setup. So now that I have changed that, I'm going to save that. And just to show you what my i3 had inside it had this wallpaper JPEG, which I use. And then the last thing that I will do is I will copy the i3 status conf into my home.i3 status.conf. And this status.conf is something that I guess you will see more when we go into the i3. But we're not yet ready to go into i3. Technically, we are ready to go into i3. But the last thing that I would like to do is, before we go to i3, I would like to go into our Vim folder. So as you can see here, we also had a NeoVim. So I'm gonna go into NeoVim, and simply what I have here is I have this install.sh script, and I have this NeoVim configuration. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do bash install.sh, and I'm gonna let it install all of my dependencies and everything. And once that is done, then my NeoVim should actually should not be 100% completed if I want to use Python um, Python LSP, then I need to install one more package, which I should probably create a script to install all the pip packages too, but I don't have that yet, so I guess I'll have to do it manually. And actually, this this appears to be slower than installing the utilities that I need to to compile the Linux kernel, which is kind of funny. Um, yeah, so we're gonna let that one finish, and once that is done, then oh, I guess that's because this one does an upgrade. Yeah, obviously. Okay, I probably should modify the script to not do that, but alas, that doesn't matter. So we're at 99%. Come on, and yes, nice. So one last thing before we go is I wonder, no, I don't have it. So as a Linux user, you always want to have neofets installed. So even though this is Ubuntu and not Arch Linux with any fancies, then I'm going to do sudo apt install neofetch, and that's another package that I like having, at least myself. So I'm going to go into my basrc file, .basrc file, obviously. And I'm gonna go GG to go to the last line. I'm gonna press O to insert, and then here I'm gonna put neofetch, and you will see why soon. So now I'm actually ready to leave this and basically show you what happens when we log in back with i3. So the next step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press Control Alt and Delete. Uh, and that should cause us basically to, or that should bring us to this logout page. And if you just navigate with the arrow keys and press enter, that will log you out. And once you're logged out, actually obviously my recording will stop. So how do you change to i3 is you press enter. Presumably your account will be there on the screen. You're just going to press enter, and then right before you type your password and press enter again, you're going to navigate with using the tab key to the bottom right of the screen, and there should be a little gear icon there. And once you press the gear icon with enter, then you should be able to swap to i3. And once you swap to i3, then you're going to navigate again with tab to the password field, type your password and log in. And that's where I will see you. I'll stop the recording from using my uh, my custom script from this, and then I'll see you on the other side. And we are now on the other side. So we are finally into i3. And with i3 now being, with i3, basically I get to do a lot of more nice things. So the i3 configuration that we set up earlier allows me to have custom key bindings. But if you don't have any custom key bindings on your own config, then to simply open a terminal, then what you need to do is press Windows key and enter, and that should open a new terminal window. I have that binded to super key and T, and if you want to open basically, if you want to close a window, then you go Windows key, Shift, and Q. And well, I just have it also be power key and Q, or super key and Q. That's custom, and I usually always have the default configuration also enabled. So why is this i3 so important um, when it comes to basically doing anything without using a mouse? Well, it allows you to navigate, I guess, a little bit easier the field. So um, in my i3 config, I have defined certain workspaces. So if I press Windows key, super key, and 2, then I go to my second workspace, which I have named SSH terminal. Then 3 will be my VNC window. That's something I use for work. 4 is browsers, and sadly 5 is Microsoft Edge. And you might be wondering, I'm on Ubuntu, why am I using Microsoft Edge? Because some applications that I use for work on my work laptop that also runs Ubuntu will require it. And then on 6 I have miscellaneous, on 7 I have testing ground, and on 8 I have music. And on 9 I have Discord, which we haven't yet installed, and we're not going to install during this uh, I guess video, and then on 0, I just never use that, so it's never there. So let's go back to the local terminal. So that will be power or super key and 1. And in here, I'm gonna basically, yeah, show you a couple of things. So um, the configuration that I have here, it's not very customized. Like, as in, it doesn't have that many things at the end of the day. So if I go into my config file, so I'm going to go into config, i3, and config. I don't have that many things like configured. Like I think that the only things that I have configured are the Windows names, and then a couple of apps I have specified to open to a specific window. So if I go actually all the way down to, let's say, SSH, let's go here. And let's move down one page so that you get to see. So I have defined basically my window names to be my custom window names. And other than that, like if I go all the way to the bottom of the screen, yeah, you have seen that we have basically, uh, yeah, we have this fetch command that just basically puts the background to be whatever it is. And then here on the top on the line 157, I have assigned some classes, some specific windows to go to some specific workspaces. And you might be thinking, well, what are these classes that I have, and how do I get them? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. So what I'm going to do is just for you to not be uh, actually, it doesn't really matter if it's on the top of the screen, I guess. But something that I found out recently through a friend, actually. Um, if you want to know how a command works, there's this great site called cheat.sh, and then you can curl cheat.sh, and let's say we want to ffmpeg, for example, and when you curl it, like it will give you a cheat sheet on that specific command, and I find that to be extremely useful. So we will actually use this command to see how to find the classes for Windows. So there is this command called Windows Manager Control. Actually, I don't know if it stands for Windows Manager Control, but it's WMCTRL. It sounds like Windows Manager Control, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I can do is, let's say you don't know how to use this, then we can do cheat.sh, so curl cheat.sh slash Windows Manager Control. And if I've typed it all right, then you can see here like a couple of cheat sheet, or you can see a cheat sheet of this command. And this is similar to the man page, so it's not like it doesn't have a man page. It most likely will have a man page, but it's just a more condensed version. So you don't have to navigate through this entire this entire man page. For example, you can get crazy. Like I think MPEG has. Let's go a couple of pages down, I guess, and see like how many pages does it go to. So it has like, it doesn't actually have that many pages, although it's like it's quite a quite a tricky command to use. Well, anyways, like so this W does it say there? It's called CLI for X Window Manager. So I guess it does stand for Window Manager Control. So what does this Window Manager Control allow us to do? Is it allows us to do Windows Manager Control minus LX to list all the windows that I have open. And if I do minus L, it will list all the windows that I have open, or all the applications that I have open, but it will not list their class. So if I use the X, then I get to see that this is in the class. Which specific class is this? This is inside of a GNOME terminal class. So it's you see after the first dot, it says GNOME-terminal, and that would be the class for this. So if I open another application, so if I press Windows D, let's say I open Blueman Manager. Oh, Blueman Manager. This is the Bluetooth manager that I have. And it says shall Bluetooth get enabled automatically. We're going to press no to that. Then we're going to press Windows key and either use the arrow or we can use J, K, L, and colon. So if I do, I can do both ways. So J to go to the left and colon to go to the right window. But basically now that I have another window open, I'm gonna again do W control, and then you will see that the Blueman Manager class is dot, like you can see Blueman dash manager. And yeah, so if I want to specify that this should go to miscellaneous, then I would go to my, so let's go all the way up. Do I still have it here? Yeah, so I'm gonna go where I have the other assign, and I'm gonna create a new line of assign, and then I completely forgot what it was. So Blueman manager, I think, and then we're gonna send it to miscellaneous. Actually, that looks very nice. Then when I have done any configuration changes, was it Blueman Manager? It was Blueman Manager, nice. When I have done any changes in order to basically to get them to work, then I have to do the power key Shift and R. And now if I navigate to this window and I press um, the super key Shift Q or Shift Q in my position. And then if I open it again, so now if I go Blueman, I cannot type obviously, manager, if I open it, you will see that down there on the bottom of the screen, you saw that workspace 6 popped up. So if I do Shift 6, then I'm now in workspace 6. Now I don't need this window, so I can close this and then I can head back to the local terminal. And now you might be thinking that, well, having a terminal and well, having a mouse, I guess, or a keyboard and no mouse uh, must be fun. But then, how do you do normal things like browsing the internet? Like, isn't that going to be extremely hard? Um, yeah, probably would be, unless there were tools like a Qt browser, which we installed as part of the things that we installed. So Qt browser, I thought I had set it to open up in actually in different window, but it doesn't really matter. So it's class is Qt browser. Let's go fix that. So let's go to assign. Oh, it's not Qt underscore browser, it's Qt browser. So let's go here, close this again. So let's go open it again. You see, even I don't have it, and I still managed to do it somehow wrong. Oh, I didn't reload the configuration. So once again, let's go to the side here, close this, and then finally open it up. So Qt browser is a browser that you get to navigate like you get to navigate Vim. So I think that it's an excellent tool. At least I enjoy using it. So you can press tab to navigate, or sorry, not tab, but you can press yeah, well, you can navigate like with tab. You can see on the top screen where on the right we have the three. I guess it's called the hamburger menu. Where now the hamburger menu, and if I continue um, with um, with my tabbing, then I should end up basically here in the DuckDuckGo search bar, and then I can press I to go into insert mode, and then I can search for how cool is Vim, and Vim is extremely cool. And as you can see, there's a lot of articles on why Vim is great. So Um, there are basically you navigate it like you navigate Vim, so I can press colon, and all the commands that I want to have or that I want to use are technically here. There are shortcuts, but mm, you get to memorize the shortcuts that you need, I guess. So the most important for me is like, or the most important, I guess, for anyone who wants to start using it is the open. So if I do open, it will just open, well, the browser and the default window. And if I do open again, but this time uh, I give it I give it a site that I want to visit. So let's go github.com/docsx1, which is my GitHub. Then that should take us to the GitHub page. And another thing is like that, going around with tab takes a lot of time. So what can we do to circumvent that? Let's say I want to go into my big num library that I wrote in x86 assembly. Then I can do just like in Vim, I can find things based on like textually find them, right? So once I found them, I press enter. And now that I am here, then I can press enter again, and that will take me into the link that I wanted to go to. And now let's say I want to go back, then I could press capital H, or then I could just go again colon back, and I can go back, and then I can go also forward. So it's colon forward or capital L. And yeah, well, this video, I guess, is not. Oh, sorry, I wanted to do capital L. This video is not that much about individual apps, I guess, or on how to use them. But I just want to show you that there are alternatives, and if you're interested in knowing about how the Qt browser works, then you're more than welcome to experiment with it. But I'm just telling you like that these are the tools that I use, and yeah, so that solves one of the common issues of how to use the browser if you don't have a mouse. Well, you can use it. You can use it quite efficiently with this Qt browser that allows you to use your lovely Vim Vim style navigation in the terminal. So I'm going to close the terminal and I'm going to go ahead back to my local terminal. And one of the things that you might want to do, and you're most likely would like to do, is let's say here I want to copy whatever the output of this command is. I want to copy it, right? And as you can see, currently I'm well, without a mouse, that's extremely hard. Actually, it's impossible to do on the not impossible to do. Okay, I could pipe this. I could pipe this into Xclip, which we also installed. Did we install Xclip? Okay. All right. Yeah, we did install Xclip. So I could pipe it into Xclip um, and get it basically from Xclip, but that's not going to be extremely efficient. So remember how we created this tmax file, so that's tmax.conf. What we did there is we actually did exactly that. So we allowed the tmax to send things to the clipboard, and also in if you look at my Vim settings, both for NeoVim and normal Vim, I have on the bottom there, you can see that I have this copy on yank that basically also sends, if I put into a special Vim register or the plus register, it allows me to put things into the Xclip. But how does that look? In essence, like if I open Tmax, and again, once again, this is a tool that you probably need to get accustomed with. Tmax is quite a powerful tool, and I highly recommend that you take some time to investigate how it works. I don't have a lot of custom configuration for Tmax. I enjoy basically I I prefer to not have complex configurations, just because if I ever reach a machine that does not that does not have internet connection, then I'm able to out of memory just get all the configuration that I need out. Yeah, especially for like the terminal-based applications. Yeah, so I like to give, or I like to leave my configuration to a minimum. But if I open a Tmax now, and what I can do is I can press Control B and square brackets, the other one. So I can press Control B and square brackets, and that allows me to go into visual mode. And because I have the Vim enabled, then what I can do is I can go here, I can press V and start, I guess I didn't press it, or I am not in the correct mode. So let's do it again. So now I should be in the correct mode. Am I not? I'm a little bit confused. Let's see. Let's do it again. Neofetch, Control B, and then press V. Wow, actually not. Okay. I'm not 100% sure why normal V didn't work, but let's say capital V should have copied everything up until there, and then I should have it in the clipboard. Yeah, well, I'm not 100% sure actually. Like I thought I had the configuration for a small v to also enter into visual mode and allow me to basically hover over things and copy them, but apparently not. So I guess I do have something to fix. Yeah, sometimes just hopping over if some things have changed in the packages and everything, you have to figure out the figure out a new way to do it. But it doesn't really matter that much. Like I just need to figure out what has changed and then change it. Um, Kind of annoying, yeah, but you know, can have it all. Yeah. But yeah, let's say I have let's do Control C. Let's cut something big. So let's go into our config files, into i3 again, into config. So let's say I want to get this line from the resize window line that you see over there. I can do Control B square brackets. I can go up to that line. I can press capital V. I can yank it by pressing Y or by pressing Enter, which I have both configured, and then I can have this line copied. And remember when I told you earlier that that's the way we could have used also for our for our setup when we were installing. Then what I could have done is I could have gone into, let's go into data Vim settings. What I could have done is I could have cut this install.txt. Then I could have again gone back and then actually in this case I guess it wouldn't work because I don't have the custom view, or sorry, visual mode, in order to be able to cut a specific section. But I would be able to just copy this and just paste it here. And to go to the start of a line or to go to the end, then you can navigate with capital A and capital Control A, sorry, and Control E. So I could have gone here and then just delete all these nodes from the beginning and do sudo apt install. Yeah, but we're not going to do that. So Control E to go to the end of the line, Control A to go to the start of the line. You can actually put comments in bash. If you are not sure if you should run this command, but you have been crafting it for quite a while, you can go Control A, put a tag or a pound sign, sorry, at the beginning and press enter, and now it's there in the history, but it's just not gonna execute, which is quite nice. So I'm gonna detach from this for a second. What else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you also that because as you can see in our vimrc, we have this copy and yank, then that allows us also to, let's say I vim, once again, let's go into the same config file. Let's go into the i3 and config file. If I go, let's say I want to copy something from here, let's say I want to copy this mod 4 for some reason. I can go into visual mode, then I can grab this mod 4, and what I can do is I can do quotation mark plus and yank, and plus is a special register that allows me to basically copy things uh, and use them outside of Vim. So now if I exit Vim and I press even Control Shift V, as you can see, I have this thing yanked. The annoying thing is that it comes with a new line, but that's small harm. Then I can just take away the new line from the end of it. But I think you might be able to just get this new line also excluded. But you know, it just doesn't bother me that much. Simply being able to copy stuff in and out of Vim is more than enough for me. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pip install Pyrite, which is a package that I need. And obviously this is gonna complain and tell me that I cannot install it without creating a virtual environment for a Python virtual environment. But we're just gonna give it a good old break system package. This actually doesn't break the system packages. It's just that I don't know actually. Like this kind of annoying. This external management environment shit. It has been annoying me for the past couple of months every time that I want to install something. But we're just going to break the system, which will actually not break the system. And now that we have Pyrite installed, then I can actually, for the first time, launch NeoVim. So as you can see, I have NeoVim installed. And yeah, so let's NeoVim, once again, the same config file, why not? And the first time that NeoVim gets to go through the installation process and install all the crazy things that shout out to my best Vim friend, Tuomas. He's a Chad who showed me how to use NeoVim. And now that I have NeoVim basically installed, I can just escape from here, or press Q to leave that. And now I'm in NeoVim. And as you can see, I have all my settings here. And once again, also just like I did in normal Vim, I have the ability to copy, yank something basically into my did I have the ability to yank something into my clipboard. So let's go yank it, and let's go leave this file, and then I can Control Shift V. And actually, this came without a new line, so I wonder what I have done differently in the NeoVim config. Let's see, init.lua. As you can see here, I have the create auto command text yank post. Maybe that's just the NeoVim diff. That NeoVim is just much better at doing things, and it's able to realize that you don't need an extra new line at the end of it, I guess. But anyways, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm able to use my Linux without having to basically use the mouse at all. I still do have a mouse. I still can use a mouse, and when I'm using my good old Microsoft Edge, I tend to use it. Or when I'm using work applications through it, like whatever I might be using. But if there is, like, I can guarantee you that there is someone somewhere that has created something that will allow me to mouselessly use Microsoft Edge also. But it just doesn't really matter. Like whenever I have to use Microsoft Edge at work, I get to use the mouse, and I'm not against using the mouse. I just feel like it's much more efficient to not use it, so that you keep your hands on the keyboard and you get to do things. That's it, and yeah, I highly recommend that you give this mouseless a chance. I guarantee you that it will make your workflow much better. And one thing before we go is actually I did show you that also. Yeah, I did show you how to find the classes of the windows. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And yeah, hope you guys liked it and you give it a try. I'm gonna now sign off. Bye.